Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jules, here for WhatCulture.com, joined by the gentle kiss on the forehead after my curb stomp Adam Nicholas and the sweet spoon of a cuddle after a fierce rock bottom. It is Adam Wilborn. We are outside the Silver Dome, brother. No, we're not at all. WrestleMania is
Don't bring him into this. Don't bring him into this.
WrestleMania is just wrapped up and we want to let you know what went down. So what we're going to do now is run through the entire card. Usually we just do this with me and Nicholas, but today we've got the special ring announcer because we can't remember the card.
16 matches.
Put it this way, it's been
can't blame
7.5 hours or something like that. We need someone to rattle the matches off and we will give our honest and open responses succinctly as possible, apart from a couple which we are definitely going to have to gush over like little children.
But before we begin, we just want to say one thing. WrestleMania as it stands right now might have been the most self-aware event that the WWE has done in a long time. We have thoroughly enjoyed it. So let's crack on. Number one.
Let's start with the first match on the pre-show. It was Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
What nice knees he has, and Tony Nese is your new Cruiserweight Champion.
And we give you as limited as possible because we were just coming into the arena at this point, just to find as Nese was winning the belt. So let's swiftly move on.
Fine match, good finish. Let's move on. WrestleMania.
Nice abs. Nice abs.
Nice abs. WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal came next.
Right, the WWE clearly does not give a hoot about Asuka anymore because she got her ass thrown straight out of the ring straight away, and the winner of this was Carmella. I mean, fine, but she didn't even get her own entrance.
She didn't. There was only two got their entrances, which was Naomi and Asuka. They didn't do very well in this at all. And in the end, we thought Sarah Logan had won it. She tossed out Sonya Deville, but it turned out that Carmella had been hiding. She won it, much to a huge pop from her hometown crowd.
What a cheeky
little scam.
The Revival versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships.
Give him a round of applause.
Give us one, a quick one. Everybody, just in case you want the headline, Kurt Hawkins' undefeated streak. Kurt Hawkins' defeated streak is over. It is done. Huzzah. He and Zack Ryder are the tag team champions. They defeated the Revival, and I have money on it that they might well lose it tomorrow night. Who cares? What a lovely moment for Kurt Hawkins on the grandest stage of them all.
And there was one more rumour to wrap up as well. They did not unveil the new tag team belts that we heard in circulation, but that might come tomorrow as Hawkins might lose the title for them. I don't know.
Sounds fair to me, brother.
Big pop though. Big
Zack
pop.
Ryder's used to dropping titles.
Zack Ryder knows all about dropping the belt.
Next up, the final match on the pre-show, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which wasn't, surprisingly, won by Titus O'Neil.
No, he wasn't, unfortunately. However, we did see somebody who we didn't expect to see in there. Luke Harper was back.
Back with a bang.
And he got banged out pretty quick because
it's Sunday, so you know what that means.
What?
It means Luke Harper probably did a tweet that said it's Sunday.
Oh,
you know
of course
what that means.
it is. Oh my god.
However,
I'm glad you introduced me to that,
what
by the
can
way.
I do?
Yeah.
Keeping it simple though, as you can imagine, everyone was expecting Braun Strowman to come out very highly in this match, and he did, while also kicking the tar out of the two guys from Saturday Night Live. I don't know, there's Colin Jost and
Michael Che, and Colin Jost's therapist as well.
And Colin Jost, therapist, and also the Hardy Boys. Matt Hardy almost retaining his Battle Royal, defending it. It would have been the first person, but he didn't, and Braun Strowman is the winner. Huzzah! Get these hands! Moving on.
Let's move on to the main card, which started with the Universal Championship match. Paul Heyman came out and said, my client, if he isn't on last, isn't going to mess about. Let's get this over and done with. So it's Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship.
It was...
Yes! Get in! That's all you need to know. Seth Rollins is your new Universal Champion. Andy Murray, eat my arse.
And the best thing is he is now running with this Beast Slayer gimmick. He's done with the Kings. He's slain the Beast now with his crap graphic, but he is now the new Universal Champion. And do you know what? The crowd popped so hard. It was the best way to start this off. Fantastic match. 3 curb stomps. He was out like a light. But it didn't look that way to begin with.
It didn't.
Because there was an F5 delivered very early on. And we thought, oh no, this is just going to be another absolute train wreck whitewash from Brock. But...
Seth Rollins knows his kryptonite, which is being punched in the bollocks.
That's very
Next
true.
up, we had AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, Mr. Indie versus Mr. WWE.
Hello.
Now, to be honest, I was the build for this has been one that's kind of been a simmering heat, hasn't it? Where it hasn't been like immediately sort of like, oh, I'm going to kill you because of this. It was just basically like, who's the best? Let's have a contest. And the match itself reflected that because it was very slow paced, but actually built with some very interesting shots, and was very self-referential because every every time AJ went for the phenomenal forearm, everyone's been saying for the past few weeks that Randy keeps getting in with the RKO. He needs to learn to stop trying to go for it, and they actually referenced that a lot with him rolling out of the way, stopping before he jumped, and I thought that was great. And you know, AJ Styles picked up the win. So
I really like the finish to this because, as you mentioned there, he did the fake out. He did one where he got caught by Randy in an RKO just in the middle of the match, just from out of nowhere. But the finish, yes, he was going for a phenomenal forearm. Randy caught him like he did kind of in Elimination Chamber, but AJ managed to stop himself, hang Randy Orton up on the top rope, hit the phenomenal forearm for the 1, 2, 3. Let's move on to the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way match between the champions, the Usos, Aleister Black and Ricochet, Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, and Debar.
I mean, can you be upset the fact that the Usos retain their fantastic champion tag team? Fantastic tag team. That is what I'm trying to say. Aleister Black, obviously, and Ricochet, after the NXT farewell, everyone thought they might immediately move into the title scene, but they didn't win.
They didn't win. Usos retained their tag team titles. What more do you need to ask about this one? Basically, 4 tag teams all putting in a fantastic showing. A lot of times where I was thinking I'd love to see Aleister Black and Ricochet having singles matches with Nakamura, but that isn't exactly what this was all about. A fantastic match. It would be Sheamus who would be the man who eat the pain after the Usos gave him super kicks and a double splash together, and we still have the same tag champs we had for SmackDown as when we entered this match.
And credit due to all the guys in there because there was a fantastic Tower of Doom spot in there as well.
That was great.
Falls Count Anywhere, The Miz versus Shane McMahon.
Do you want to take this one? I think you know the leader next.
Shane McMahon won. But although the finish was really good, surprise, surprise, they fell off something big out in the arena. It's what we expected. And it was a clever finish. This feud isn't technically over yet. There was a lovely spot where Mr. Miz got in the ring.
And then Shane goes, look, I'll fight you, but only if we fight properly. And then he was like, nah. And then he just went, bang.
And then he went, do you want to know what it's like facing me? Potato City, that's what it is. Yes, but then there was a big spot on the where the high camera
construction bit, and they both did the biggest superplex. Miz looked like he was going to get the win. Superplex Shane off the top, but as it happened when they landed, Shane landed on top of the Miz, essentially got the cover, and 1, 2, 3.
Now, I liked the match up until that point. I thought it was quite visceral and it was telling a story, but I did not like that finish just because I think it makes the Miz look really stupid, and he's not stupid.
But either way, Shane McMahon is still the best in the world. What are you going to do?
Yeah, there we go.
Brother, moving on.
You know, the best women's tag team in the world is.
It's
the bloody
Iconics!
The Iconics are the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. It was another fatal 4-way match for the tag team titles. The champions is going into the match: Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus Billy Bloody Kay
and Peyton Bloody Royce.
Do you know what though? We have to give credit where credit's due, because Beth Phoenix actually, obviously somebody coming out of retirement just for 1 or 2 matches. She was excellent. She was a powerhouse. The amount of times that she just absolutely threw the other women around was, and in fact, she was the one that would have legitimately won had it not been for the cunning ingenuity of those women down under. I don't know where I was going with that.
All you need to know about this from the remaining moment was, as Beth Phoenix was about to slam Bayley from the top turnbuckle down to the ground, there was a little whisper where you just heard, I think it was clear to you or you to clear, he said, oh my god,
what if
Billy Kay's legal, or Peyton Royce is legal? And we suddenly realised the Iconics were going to come in. Bayley slammed, Beth chucked out the ring, Iconics get the victory, and I'll tell you what, it was bloody iconic.
It was down under divas. That's what I was going to.
There you go. Let's move on. Let's get to the next one.
And Bret Hart brought out Natalya and Beth Phoenix, which was a nice little touch.
And it's good to see these all right, by the way.
Yeah. Next up, the WWE Championship match.
You know what?
Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. I'm going to be honest here. Myself and Adam Nicholas may have had a little bit of a cry.
There was a little bit of a cry may have happened. Ben Roy also, who was filming this video for us, had a little cry. We all were just overwhelmed with emotion for arguably one of the most beautiful title victories I have seen in quite some time.
Wasn't it?
Honestly.
One of the most deserved victories and the most rewarding storylines that WWE has actually managed to craft out of something that was not an accident, because obviously it was Mustafa Ali's injury that put Kofi back in the main event scene, but it resulted in something absolutely spectacular. The match itself was so well done, and it can only come from basically 2 veterans who, they know the ring inside out. They know how to work with each other, and the close pinfalls were, whoa!
The amount you could feel it in the arena every time Kofi almost got tapped out or pinned. The fans were worried, but as it happened, this one was a lot of it down to Daniel Bryan being a masterful heel. These sinister looks on his face, the way he worked the match was brilliant. Really emphasised the Kofi Kingston spots where we wanted him not to lose. And thank the God on all high mighty, whatever you want to call it, that he didn't. And he bloody won it, didn't he, lads?
Yeah.
He only went and won it in front of the lads. And sometimes it's all right to just give the people what they want. God damn it!
Do you know what was
first African American WWE champion?
Incredible,
fantastic.
Well deserved, and the right person to do that. As well.
There was something quite interesting as well, because there were 2 T-shirt lines that were launched in the span of that. We had the Kofi as champion one, which was great, but then later on in the night we saw that Daniel Bryan had got another one out, which suggested that maybe he is going to run with the gimmick of what we said, where he just is going to basically flat refuse to accept that he lost, because it was like his T-shirt said like, I'm still the world champion, effectively.
And his hemp belt is still up for grabs because Kofi newly unveiled the classic WWE Championship for that. Right, next up, we've got a bit of a challenge for you two.
Okay.
It's the United States Championship match between Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. You have to try and sum it up quicker than the match itself, which was only 1 minute.
I wasn't there for the match. I went to the toilet, and by the time I got back, the match was over by the end.
I was there for the match, and it was actually really quite good, because I thought to myself, maybe it won't be that to go on too long, and it definitely didn't, but we didn't get anything going with Dominic though, which is a real shame, because he looks like a mini Hamlet / mini Walter, and I'm ashamed that he didn't get choked out and die.
He travelled all this way to watch his dad hit 1619, go for a big move off the top rope and get caught in the coquina clutch and pass out. What a bloody waste. Anyway,
also Samoa Joe is the best. He deserves this kind of thing. Let's run with that. And congratulations on your first WrestleMania moment, Samoa Joe. Boom, Adam Wilborn.
Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre was next.
A lot of people actually didn't care about this match. I think it's because of the fact that the storyline was hot, and I don't know why it's cooled down, but the crowd were very mixed on this when it came out. They were back to booing Roman again.
It was very mixed for Roman tonight. I think it was more about positioning and about the fans knowing that this show was going on long, and we weren't that invested because this match, while it had a potential to be okay, didn't really get much of a build, and Drew and Roman is something we probably could have seen in a different light. Let's not dwell on this one for too long, but Roman Reigns got the win, another return to the ring for him, and to be honest, I was happy to see him in there, and no complaints from me, but ultimately something we won't be remembering very much from this card.
I think it just puts him back on the road map, or the road in general.
The Superman Punch Spear 1, 2, 3 is the right result.
Yeah.
Right, next up was a match. We said, look, what you need to do here is have a nice quick match. It's no holds barred. It's Triple H versus Batista. Keep it under 10 minutes. It's great. And it was the longest match on the card.
Honest to Christ, I think that this might have actually been the worst match for me personally this night. I know Ben Roy is shaking his head, he loved it. To be honest, there were great spots in it, but the problem is, we all said the same thing, go hell for leather for 10 minutes. Triple H spent 8 minutes getting out his bloody Mad Max trike. It was just like, you know what I mean? It's just, he's an infuriating man.
The best way to summarise this one is, up until this point of the night, I have to give credit to WWE. The show was paced incredibly, really well. Did not feel like it was taking as long as it did. For me, this was the first point where it felt like maybe we didn't need this. It was just a little bit too long, but I actually don't think that was, if we watch it back when we're not all stressed out and having had all of this happen before and on such a time limit because it's the longest show ever, this might actually be alright match to go back and rewatch. But ultimately, who would get the win, gentlemen?
Triple H.
With a Superman sledgehammer hit.
Superman
and
sledgehammer.
a pedigree for the 1, 2, 3.
Right,
So you can't retire.
Just to interrupt, I know we have to go quickly, but we have to give a shout out to the big spots that were in there. The nose ring being ripped out with a pair of gloves, that was brilliant. Having a power bomb onto the steel steps was fantastic. The tables that didn't want to break, and then the ones that did. To be fair, if you put all of the spots together into a highlight, into a montage, you've got a fantastic heavy hit package. But it was just 45 minutes in between. Anyway, right.
Kurt Angle's retirement match against Baron Corbin. Oh, you should mention before that.
Hang on. Let's just go rewind that back if that sounded fast. Just to go diving into this, Elias did a spot where he was basically doing a sing-song, and he was also on piano and drums because Elias is great. All of that was interrupted, didn't matter because we got the return of the Doctor of Thugonomics. John Cena came out in full Dr. Thugonomics gear, and also, potentially, Word Life, brother. He was a heel, and he cut an incredible promo on Elias before delivering not the AA, The bloody FU.
FU.
Never seen the FU live. I've only seen the A million times. Completely different move altogether. Brilliant to see him back, and I want to see more of that John Cena. Now going on to Kurt Angle's retirement match
against Baron Corbin. We thought maybe he was going to be replaced. He wasn't. It was Kurt Angle's last match. We all chanted "You suck," and Baron Corbin beat him.
To be honest, I didn't like this match because I think you should either go as like a squash match. Either way, either Kurt Angle wins and he goes out and he goes like, "Thank you very much, I'm great," but whatever, or he loses, which is probably more customary to people like leaving. But it's a squash and it shows that Baron Corbin is the guy and whatever. Blah.
I imagine Angle probably wanted to put Baron Corbin over because he recognises the fact that Baron Corbin's bloody great. He does his job very, very well. Lovely to see the end for Kurt because realistically, I think it needs to happen. We chanted "You suck," as Adam said. He lost the match. Let's move on.
Baron Corbin is a masterful piss spoiler, and Kurt Angle nearly killed himself doing a moonsault, so it's probably best to sort of wrap it up. Right, next up, the penultimate match of the night, the Intercontinental Championship match between the champion Bobby Lashley and the Demon Finn Balor.
Where were you guys again?
I went to the toilet again because actually that's not true. Both these times I didn't go to the toilet. I went for a hot chocolate and a cup of tea and some food because not even a cup of tea, a cup of coffee because look at how long the show was.
Yeah, I needed a coffee at this point.
So as the authority on this, what happened? Finn Balor had an excellent showing as the Demon. He was incredibly ferocious. He went in there and he absolutely decimated Bobby Lashley. He scared Lio Rush so much that Lio Rush didn't even do anything heelish. He just ran away. And then eventually there was only one thing that I really remember, and that was a near botch where there was a suplex from the outside of the apron and Bobby looked like he almost stumbled and dropped Finn, but he rolled up straight away, bounced into the corner, coup de grace, done. New IC champion, and to be honest, I'm very happy with that result.
Looking forward to watching that when I get back on the network because I did not get to see any of that.
Show him your pose, Bobby.
That's for Bobby. Anyway,
main
that doesn't
event
matter.
of the evening, it was the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey, the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, and the winner of the 2019 Royal Rumble, Becky Lynch. Winner takes all.
Let's just say it now, guys. Let's just say the result. It's fucking Becky Lynch. It's Becky Lynch. We got all three of the dreams came true.
Trifecta happened, and the Iconics on top, a little bit of icing.
For the first time that I can honestly ever remember, and I mean this wholeheartedly, WWE literally gave us everything we wanted. But what does that mean?
Yeah, are they going to take it away? We have reached the harvest and we are full in the summer.
But right now, it doesn't matter what it means because Becky Lynch is your new SmackDown Women's Champion and Raw Women's Champion. She is the man. She is the best in the business right this second. The match itself, for me personally, I feel like there was a very tired crowd who powered through, in fairness to them, and really got behind the women. We wanted this match to be great. The main event, the first time the women had ever main evented at WrestleMania, and I would say they didn't disappoint. I thought they did a really great job. There is a lot of talk, and there will be, about the finish. Basically, I think the idea is they wanted to try and maybe keep Ronda looking strong by, like, she might have kicked out at 2 3/4, but listen, for me personally, that's not going to sour what was an incredible show, and what a punctuation at the end of it for me personally.
When I was walking out and chatting to fans at the end, I was saying, look, it's a bit of a shonky finish, and I think everyone will agree that, and they may try and argue something about that tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw, but at the end of the day, it's what we take away from it, most importantly of all, and that is the correct result in Becky Lynch leaving as, champ.
Just to inform the people at home what happened, it was meant to be a double hip toss into a table. The table didn't break properly. They rolled out of the way. Ronda was meant to take the pin, but unfortunately the way that Becky tried to get her in, it looked like she didn't get the full sort of shoulder hook, and it meant that it looked like Ronda had kicked out when she should have clearly stayed down. Like,
Charlotte had gone out the ring. She was the one who suffered the table smash, and as Ronda was doing the Piper's Pit finish, Becky landed but managed to roll her up into a cover. It was a loose cover. I guess that's what they were aiming for. Listen, let's not even try and put a negative on this because it was absolutely fantastic, and literally the exclamation mark at the end of, albeit maybe a couple of matches, an absolutely incredible show.
If you think about it this way, over the last 3 years, WrestleMania has gone off the air to resounding boos because of the fact that it hasn't delivered what people want, or it's put the wrong main event in the wrong time and place. This felt like it was basically the WWE saying, we do listen to you, here's everything you want, now let's see where it goes.
Absolutely.
Kofi versus Bryan match of the night?
It has to be, I think. I
think so.
In terms of technical quality, in terms of the story it told, I can't think of anything more entertaining.
It had the fans at their most engaged, which I think is the most important in this. really was. You could feel it was palpable every time there was near falls. Everybody was into this match. But also Seth Rollins winning the Universal title was the absolute best thing in the world, and that's also great. Shall we wrap this up,
longest ever WrestleMania, I'm fairly certain this was, but the one with the most correct results that I can remember in quite some time, for the biggest matches, I suppose.
We got everything we wanted.
The big three takeaways, I suppose, out of everything, aside from the Iconics, which is one of my biggest takeaways of the night, but the big three takeaways is Seth Rollins is your new Universal Champion, Kofi Kingston is your new WWE Champion, and Becky Lynch is your new double champ. She is the champion of both Raw and SmackDown. Lots of fallout to come on Raw and SmackDown in the next couple of days. But gentlemen, this has been WrestleMania 35.
I mean, those have been three big takeaways, and from these three big takeaways as well, thank you so much for joining us for what went down at WrestleMania 35. I've been Jules. You can follow me at RetroJ with a 0 over on Twitter.
I have been Adam Nicholas. You can follow me on Twitter at It's Adam Nicholas.
And I've been Adam Wilborn. You can follow me on Twitter and tweet me iconic gifs at Adam Wilborn.
Or you can follow WhatCulture in general at WhatCulture WWE. That is what went down.
Yep, thank you very much, guys. Remember, you have been awesome. Never forget that. And we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Goodbye. Seth Rollins is the Universal Champion.
Oh, iconic!